a wave of protests has swept Syria's coastal cities. And what began as peaceful Alawite sit-ins has escalated into gunfire, injuries, and a rapid military deployment. Mass protests have swept across Syria's coastal and central regions, with reports of live ammunition being used against demonstrators in both Homs and Latakia. Casualties were reported as thousands of Syrians, primarily Alawites and Christians, staged peaceful sit-in protests across multiple cities. According to AFP, the protests are the biggest in the Alawite region since the fall last December of longtime Syrian ruler Bashar al-Assad, who hails from the community following an Islamist-led offensive. Mass demonstrations in Latakia, Jable, Tartus, Homs and Hama are calling for an end to sectarian violence, mass abductions and the release of detainees.
We want security. We want the young men who were arrested to be released. We are being subjected to injustice, and we don't want this killing. We live with all groups, but they are very unjust toward us. There is great injustice on the coast.
From Latakia and Tartus on the coast to Hama and Homs inland, large crowds from the Alawite community gathered to protest what they describe as oppression, kidnappings, and escalating violence perpetrated by the new Syrian government under Ahmed al-Sharaa. In Latakia, Alawite protesters assembled at Zirah Junction to condemn recent attacks in Homs.
We demand to live in security, to go to school safely without kidnapping. This was the only place we used to feel security. Now there's no more security and we're exposed to kidnapping and fear. We only want safety.
The demonstration turned violent when a group of young men reportedly assaulted demonstrators with stones. Following the violence, large-scale military deployments by government forces were observed across cities controlled by the transitional government, with reinforcements moved from Aleppo and Idlib toward the coast and Homs. Meanwhile, Syria's Interior Ministry on November 25th issued a warning to residents in Alawite-majority coastal areas, urging them not to fall victim to what it described as schemes aimed at stoking internal conflict. The ministry cautioned against sectarian rhetoric and confirmed that security forces had been deployed to secure demonstrations. Speaking to state-run Al Ikhbariya TV, ministry spokesperson Nuruddin al-Baba said,
"Internal security units have secured protest gatherings in some Alawite-majority coastal areas to prevent any sudden incidents that could be exploited by parties promoting chaos."
He stressed that the ministry ensures the right to freedom of expression for everyone, provided it remains within legal limits and does not threaten civil peace. Baba added that the Syrian state is the sole guarantor of the demands of all the Syrian people, and that these demands cannot be met through scenarios of chaos pushed by outside actors. In what appeared to be a reference to Alawite leader Ghazal, he accused such figures of being disconnected from realities on the ground. The remarks followed Ghazal's call for a unified demonstration across Alawite majority regions. The Supreme Islamic Alawite Council in Syria and abroad released a video in which Ghazal urged demonstrators to document the protests and appealed for support from Kurdish-majority northeast Syria and Druze-majority Suwaida. According to Rudo, protests occurred in at least 8 areas in Latakia province, 2 in Tartus and multiple locations in Hama and Homs, with banners demanding federalism, political decentralization, the release of detainees, and an end to violence against minorities. The demonstrations intensified after the discovery of a man and his wife, reportedly from a Sunni Arab Bedouin tribe, found killed in their home south of Homs on November 23rd. In response, the Alawite Council appealed urgently to the UN Security Council and the international community, claiming Alawite neighborhoods and homes had come under a barbaric armed attack by Bedouin groups backed by elements within the interim authorities. Rami Abdul Rahman, head of the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, warned that the situation in Homs risks becoming overtly sectarian, citing the recent killing of 2 young Alawite men and a lack of decisive action from Syrian authorities. He alleged that some factions are attempting to displace Alawites from the city.